I quit college before I knew I was going to sell watches. I just knew I was going to be successful in some field that didn't involve working for anyone. I just had faith in myself.
Yeah. You went to college though.
I went to college for 3 weeks.
What happened in the third week where you were just like, I'm done?
Nothing. It was just like whack. I was sitting down at the food buffet once. All these kids, I was toying with the idea of quitting.
Yeah.
And I was like, I think I'm about to drop out, guys.
Yeah.
These kids were losing their fucking mind. They're like, what are you talking about? Like, you're never going to be successful. And I was like, I don't know, but I'll figure it out. Don't worry about me. So then the next day I left. That's actually the turning point. Hearing these kids like be so dependent on like another man for fucking money.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck? So I was just like, fuck this. I left. The next day, it was so weird. I went downstairs. I was like, how do I drop out? And they were like, are you okay? Like, do you need to talk to a counselor? Like, I was like, no, I just want to leave this fucking shithole. I called my mom.
Oh yeah, well, how did that go? How did the parents take this?
My parents didn't pay for college, so they weren't mad. My dad was disappointed because in one of my last interviews, I said that I was the first person in my family to go to college, and my mom was like, that's not true. Your grandpa went. I was like, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't realize that. Anyway, I drop out of college. I do a couple weird things, start making money different ways.
What were those? Tell us, because that's interesting to people.
I was delivering pizzas when I first dropped out, just for like gas money and shit.
Dude.
Before I went to college, I worked in a diner. I worked in a day camp, in a flea market. Flea markets were big for me. That was my first job. I was 13 or 14 years old.
You got your first job super early. Like, you were ready to work, bro.
Yeah. Then when I was 15 or 16, I started selling iPhones, but I was also had like jobs during the week. I would go to high school, and then I would be a waiter, and then in the summer I was a camp counselor.
I think there's this idea now that people need to start their own business right out the gate, and they don't need any life skills, no experience. Like me personally, bro, I did Uber Eats, I did McDonald's, paper route.
Jobs teach you work ethic and basic skills like communicating with people, managing money. I remember getting scammed on my first deal.
Yeah.
I had like maybe $1,000 saved up. I was so souped. I was texting this dude. I was like, yo, I'm like 16. I don't even drive yet because my dad had to drive me. I'm like, yo, dude, like, come meet me at whatever. I'm like, Dad, please drive me here. He's like, bro, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm gonna meet with this guy to buy this phone. He's like, oh, fuck, all right. So my dad was supportive of that. He drove me into a park. Sounds super sus. And I got $500 for this phone that I'm about to buy. I buy the phone, give the dude the money, take the phone, shake his hand. The guy's smiling. I'm like, yeah.
Oh,
like,
why you check the phone out at all or anything?
I didn't know how to check nothing. So I get the phone. The phone was iCloud locked. It was literally useless. Couldn't do shit. So that was my first loss in business.
Yeah.